Fire Force Season 3, Episode 18 left me conflicted. And I hate starting on a negative note, but I have to be honest, the pacing in this episode felt really distracting. Even for a shonen series, it kept pulling my focus away from what should have been intense, high-stakes moments. Let me ask something. What was the actual relevance of Ogun's backstory in the previous episode? At this point, it sometimes feels like Fire Force is prioritizing whatever looks visually cool, even if it slows down the narrative momentum. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still deeply invested in the larger mysteries, the Pi theory, the explanation of the world before and after the first great cataclysm, the possibility that Vulcan's family might have played a role in the Evangelist's plan. That's fascinating stuff. Cosmic-scale, end-of-the-world storytelling. But the way it's presented, it's becoming increasingly hard to digest. We get exposition layered on exposition, and then suddenly we cut to moments that feel tonally disconnected, like you randomly praising Giovanni. Where did that even come from? It felt abrupt. And once again, valuable screen time was spent on backstories while the literal apocalypse is seconds away from starting. And yet, ironically, the moment that might matter most is Arthur separating from Vulcan and the others. Arthur walking off feels symbolic, like a knight leaving the battlefield only to return at the perfect moment. I genuinely believe he's being set up for a heroic re-entry. The classic last-second arrival, blade shining, kingdom-saving energy at maximum. I believe in Arthur. Somehow, he's the emotional anchor for me right now. Now, let's talk about Giovanni. I still don't understand how he's this strong. He's aligned with the Evangelist, sure, but he never feels fully part of that group. There's always this underlying sense that he's operating on his own agenda, like he's playing chess while everyone else thinks they're in checkers. And in this episode, he was farming pure villain aura. Vulcan nearly killed him multiple times, and every single time Giovanni came back laughing. That laugh is unsettling. In a darker, more serious series, he would easily be one of anime's scariest villains. But because this is Fire Force, a show that constantly swings between absurd humor and cosmic horror, the tone slightly undercuts how terrifying he actually is. Still, Vulcan and Lisa's final strike clearly did serious damage. For once, Giovanni didn't look invincible. But then came the real horror. Giovanni taking over Yu's body after forcing him into becoming an internal. That was disturbing, not just visually, but conceptually. The loss of agency, the body snatching, the manipulation. And now, he potentially holds the key to initiating the Great Cataclysm. If he succeeds, that's it. The Earth turns into another sun. All life erased. Game over. But here's the strange part. I feel almost no fear. The stakes are at their absolute highest, planetary extinction, and yet, emotionally, I'm not panicking. I'm not anxious. I'm not even dreading what might happen. Instead, I'm curious. I'm more excited about what happens after the cataclysm than the cataclysm itself. And that says a lot. The pacing and tonal shifts have made it difficult to emotionally connect to the urgency. The show tells us the world is ending, but it doesn't make us feel it. Right now, the only character whose safety I genuinely care about is Arthur. That's both impressive and concerning. Now, I will say this. The production quality? Outstanding. The animation has been consistently top tier. The sound design during the fight scenes is phenomenal. David Production is clearly going all in for this final stretch of Fire Force, and the effort shows. As one of modern shonen's defining series, it deserves a strong adaptation. And despite my issues with the pacing and presentation, I'm not dropping it. I have to see how this ends, especially knowing there's a deeper connection to the world of Soul Eater. That alone keeps me invested. So, overall, visually incredible,
conceptually ambitious, emotionally uneven. But Arthur's disappearance? That gives me hope. And sometimes, hope is all you need heading into the end of the world.